Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 324th episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I'm the Malunky Trash now, because I'm going to Malunky someone on this podcast.
Isn't it McCunky?
McClunky. Yeah, McClunky.
McCunky?
Yeah, be careful how you say that. McClunky. McClunky, yeah.
And I am the Tramp Taylor Field.
I got a few things to say with Taylor Field. First of all, the shot for the video listeners. You, for some reason, we have 4 mics here. You started using mic number 1, and then you switched to mic number 2. So
I never started using mic number 1.
You sat there and you just always take that and it's across from me. And now
there's no one else
I'm
here,
gonna fix it, but now you sat in that chair, so it totally messed up the shot I set up. So that's great. We're gonna talk about some news. Gonna give you the quick rundown because we haven't done news in a while, so that's why it's just me and Taylor. Dylan's busy plugging in those hours for Death Stranding review. Kirkland's at the dentist, but there's been tons of news we've missed, and the next few weeks we probably won't get to because Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order for us, and then before you know it, we're literally a month and 6 days from Rise of Skywalker.
It's the 12th. Yeah, month, 6 days.
It's the 13th day when we record this.
Days. Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're like pretty much a month away from Rise of Skywalker, and we got to do Last Jedi commentary track. So that's why I wanted to do, because lots of news broke, and I didn't know if we had time. So we're talking that Batman casting that happened, Batman possibly having a blue and black suit. We're talking all the MCU news. Loki's going to be in Doctor Strange. We got all the other. Feige announced that Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk are going to be in the movies. We got trailers galore, which remind me you're going to have to take hold of Scoob. And Sonic I saw most of. Scoob I did not see it. I'm so bad.
It's okay. I didn't see the new Witcher one. I forgot about that. But I saw Scoob.
We'll cover each other for that. But yeah, we got tons of news. What else? We're talking about Ant-Man 3, Spider-Verse, tons of stuff. So before we get in that, this is why, go subscribe, go give everything. And, make my day. Don't be a McClunky. Go give us a 5-star written review. That would help us out a lot because we're putting out lots of free content for y'all. If you want more content, go over to Patreon and get stuff early. Right now, it's like the calm before the storm because there's a few things up there. But in 2022, we're recording lots of stuff that's going to be just Patreon exclusive. Lots of stuff is early and then it switches over. There's after 9s up there right now, but yeah, 2020 you want to get on board on the $1 or $5 level because we have tons of great commentary tracks and stuff we're going to announce soon. So this is what I'm going to say first. Taylor Field is here's the thing. People think that we don't. I've seen this review so many times. People go, "Oh, these guys don't prepare. They just show up. They sit down. They do their stuff." And that's not the case. We prepare a lot. It's the thing is we try to give it the vibe like we're unprepared because it's fun. It's like chilling back with your friends. That's been the biggest compliment. Always people say, "Oh, it's like listening to my friends." So that's great. But we do prep. And usually what happens is somebody, usually me, gets all the news that we're going to talk about, and then I send it to the group. It's just me and Taylor today. So luckily it's only one person I got to send it to. And also Taylor, because of much controversy. Taylor at one point was making the thumbnails. He stopped, so I took over. I screwed up a few times on some aspect ratios. So there's this joke. That's why you may have heard it called Kevin the Bullet Feige. I didn't do it properly, and it was my bad. I understood, but his head was very bullet-like. So I was like, and both Dylan and Taylor are giving me shit, even though Dylan's just making these Value Village thumbnails. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Come on, Dylan. We have the PNG GeekVerse. Don't use the one with the background. But I'm like, these two are giving me shit for my thumbnails. I'm like, Taylor, you do it. You make the thumbnail. So I give him all the news that him and I are going to be talking today. And then very specifically by each topic, usually if you've seen our thumbnail, it's always the main image and then 4 other ones. They used to be in the corners. Now Taylor has a beautiful design. I love the new design. He was like, oh, I'm going to change it. I was like, oh, we'll see. He did. I love it. So it's the middle one and then up top you see it's kind of our main topic and then all the little side topics we're going to hit. And then the other thing is we do cutouts for YouTube because one, those usually get more views than the newscast when we cut out sections of the newscast because I think that's the way YouTube is. Our audio listeners like the longer podcast. I'm like, oh, we've been doing the cuts. Oh, you got to do all the cuts. Oh, yeah. And then he messages me 20 minutes before cast. Yeah, I didn't have time for those cutouts today. But
I got the main ones. I got the main ones
but
to you.
I got to make the cutouts now. I would have done it earlier.
No. I said I can do the cutouts because after we're done here, I'm going home making the cutouts. It's all good.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see who's fast, quick draw McGraw uploads them. But anyway, so the cutouts are Lady the Tramp. We're going to review Lady the Tramp, and that's going to be probably 5 to 10 minutes, but we can put that as a separate video for the video people. And Taylor didn't do the cutouts. And then what happened was he just took every single news item. And what I'm going to do is Taylor's going to make a new one, but for Twitter and Facebook users, I'm going to post both thumbnails and only the listeners will understand. So our over 3,000 Facebook people will be like, what is this context to? And I'll have the link. he he put the main image of the MCU one, and then every single news item I talked to him about this, and I was like, "What happened?" And then the other thing is, I'd say our second biggest topic, because we haven't got to talk about, is the Batman casting. We got a new Penguin. Alfred got confirmed today, and we got rumors about a Batman suit. And I specifically messaged Taylor Field because the rumors were going to blue and gray, blue and black Batman suit for the first time ever. I said specifically, make sure you use this thumbnail because it has a lot to do with the news right now. And if you could, use this art style because I really like the Gabriel Udaleta. I don't know how you say his name. How would you say that name? I sent
Gabriel Delato.
Gabriel Delato. Go look it up on Google. He is just beautiful, beautiful Batman art. And he sends me the thumbs up, sounds good. And then when I get this shit, I get the thumbnail with every single news item on there, which is just, you can do. It's I said it was fine, but still it was like every single, I don't think the Invisible Man needs a cutout. I don't think. And then lo and behold, our second biggest topic of the night, he doesn't even put Batman on there.
I put fucking Bullseye or whatever on there.
Bullseye?
The actor that's playing, what's his
Colin
pickle?
Farrell?
There you go.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, he's on the thumbnail.
Is he? As Derek?
His main thumbnail, main image. We're like, okay, that's great. That's the main image. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Then after that, you said Batman, Alfred, Penguin casting corner image. I'm thinking, okay, now I don't know how to put all of those together into one section.
Yeah, I don't expect you to, but it's just like that. It's something to represent this.
And then when I read that Batman, Alfred, Penguin, I thought, okay, he just means Alfred and Penguin from the Batman. I didn't realize that was the Batman. And that I didn't include until the thing after. But I'll come back to that. Then you said Ant-Man 3, Spider-Man, or Spider-Verse 2 coming 2022. And I thought, actually, I didn't catch on the Spider-Verse part. But the Ant-Man 3, I'm like, okay, so here's 2 pieces extra of news that you want in there.
But here's the thing. By the Batman news, there's in brackets, corner image. The Ant-Man 3 Spider-Verse has nothing. It's just that's the news.
True. And then you have Thunderbolts and Ironheart rumored for Disney Plus. Cut out for Ironheart. 2 for another Iron Man. Okay, so you got a cut out there.
Wow, just spoiling all the topics.
Then, shit. Then you have new Scream. And then you have the Invisible Man, Scoob, Sonic trailers, Sonic corner image, Sonic also cut out. And then, Green Lantern corner image. Then you have Lady and the Tramp review. Need cutout for review. Could be review image if you want. Mm-hmm. And then...
meaning because Taylor does the review thumbnails differently than the regular ones.
Yeah.
Inside
and then
Baseball
I
here
said,
with GeekVerse.
Only cutout you need is for Lady and the Tramp, correct? You said no. I put cutout by the other 2 things. So you said no to Lady and the Tramp.
I did. Yeah, I did. But I admitted that. You scroll down later. I said you were right on Lady the Tramp, but I did request the other 2 cutouts.
Then
I'm paraphrasing, but
you said all the other ones I thought should be on the main thumbnail. I put in the main brackets, and yes, that's fair. But when I looked again, I was like,
oh bullshit! When you looked again,
I just got confused. I had it right in front of me. I'm like, okay. So you want all this stuff, and I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of news here. Because when I really looked at it, I'm like, I was like, okay, you want Sonic on here? But then I'm like, wait, the Invisible Man, Scoob, Sonic, and then new Scream. Like, okay, why don't I just do the big thumbnail and put everyone in there?
And that's the thing. Taylor didn't share to me that he has 2 versions of the thumbnail when we have small news.
No, I told you a long time ago.
I didn't think it was 84 topics at the top. It's fine. But
no, it's
there's
like
so many up there.
Okay, I won't lie. When I opened it up, I was taken aback by how many slots I made. But sometimes we get a lot of news.
You're like,
and it worked for this.
You're like J.J. Abrams in the episode 9 trailer with all those battleships and everything like that. It's like, whoa.
I will confess, I did like your comment for Batman Topies.
Yeah.
But when I went back to make the thumbnail, when I was scrolling through here, I was like, okay, now you definitely, I swore you did send me a Batman thing, and I was scrolling through, I'm like, there's Jared Leto, there's all this.
You sent Jared Leto. I would never send Jared Leto.
And I'm like, oh, I can't, I see your Mandalorian image here, and I'm going through, I'm like, I can't find anything about Batman. I went to the top, like, oh, I guess he didn't say anything. I was just dreaming it. And, well, fuck me, right?
Yeah, I said it, so... And then what was the other thing? Oh, and then trying to decipher this one, fans. So wireless all of those new Starbucks if you don't want new pieces in the thumbnail. That made no sense whatsoever.
Just saying, fucking talk to text is fucking trash. Like originally it was Travis that had the problem with the talk and text.
Yeah.
And now I'm using it because, you know what?
Because Taylor
shoot me if you want. I'm at a fucking red light and I just
bullshit. He's not at a red light. He's so doing this on a green light while he's driving. He's a terrible person. He's gonna get in a car accident.
No, I'm at a red light. And you know what? I'm like, okay, Siri, voice talk to text bullshit. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, what the fuck did I say? I said,
it said, so wireless all of those new Starbucks if you don't want new pieces in the thumbnail.
I didn't even notice. It just sends. Then I see your Starbucks question mark, and then I get pissed.
That's why
then I
did
do the voice recording thing.
That's Taylor's new thing. He just records his own voice and sends a message. I knew Taylor would get pissed because I knew he did voice to text and it messed it up, but I just played innocent. I'm like, Starbucks question mark?
Fuck.
So he deserved it. And that's because he said he doesn't read it, because I so many times was like, hey, do you understand? This is what I want. And then it was like, sounds good, or the thumbs up. And then later on, he just responded with the gif from Jim Carrey, Larry pulling his hair. And that kid one, the kid in the basketball jersey, and he's like crying, he's blonde, and he's like, oh my God, and he's crying. Now here's the thing, that is an overused gif, but when it's used right, it's used good. I could feel Taylor's stress as he said that. And even his voice message, it was very frantic. It sounded like, in the movies when there's a guy who's a criminal and it's like he has one last job and he's going to run away with his lady, but the cops are on his tail. That was Taylor. He's like, I did the thumbnail. It was all done. And then you said you wanted the pieces and like, I'm not going to make it. Go without me. So, yeah.
I'm totally okay with redoing it. I had to get to the bottom of this when we were deciphering it. There was one more thing, too. Where was it? It was like... yeah, because
great
I called myself out because you had I said, we'll see how it goes when I build it, because I preemptively just know somehow something's gonna fucking go wrong.
I don't, and you said, and on, is it a long explanation? Because I said we need a new system because clearly you don't understand. You're like, I think I have it figured out.
Yeah,
my suggestion was just reading my actual text, but no, because if anybody in the entire GeekVerse, it's so annoying. If I do a big paragraph, the reason I do that is because it has tons of news. But then like months later, I got you or Dylan being like, we should have a meeting and talk about this. They're like, motherfuckers, I posted about this months ago. It's not my fault you can't remember. I'm like an elephant. What's your system? And then we'll get this news.
I just want to say one more thing. Oh, no. You actually said you believe in me, which was a big mistake because I didn't believe in myself.
No, I didn't believe in you either, but I'm trying just to be, I was trying to like push you along,
So my new system is basically, for the thumbnails, I'm thinking, don't throw in any of the extra news stuff you don't want in the thumbnail. I would say, okay, main image is just... like literally put a title, main image, and then everything
like capital
you want.
main image.
Yeah,
then
capital main image and what you want.
Like side pieces, boom, and then like cutouts, boom.
Yeah, so basically you get, if you ever want to use the big thumbnail, like we can use that. But then, the main one that is the go-to has like 3 spaces up top in the main image. So you can do like cutouts and then just have like cutout 1 this, cutout 2 this, cutout 3 this.
Yes.
And then there we go, because then we better I won't be looking and be like, oh, there's so much news here. I'm going to use up the big thumbnail.
Well, that's good to know you have a big one. I still need to see if goddamn Colin Farrell's in there.
He's in there, I swear to God.
There's so many images in this.
It's like the Disney Plus lineup. We have so much stuff ready to go.
But this most boring image. It's just him staring, but like it's fine. It's Colin Farrell, works. Let's get in the news. Let's start with the main topic and the main thumbnail. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about Disney Plus. We're gonna talk about Marvel. I should have pimped it out. Go check out our Mandalorian review. Thank you for everyone checking that out already. It's doing very well for us. So check that out. We did episode 1. We did, as usual, a review and a big spoilers breakdown. Lots of theories. If you've seen that show, seen that, there's lots going on, lots of spicy stuff. We'll be back this Friday whenever it drops. We're figuring that out. We'll have a better schedule once we know the time they release, but this Friday we'll be doing episode 2. Same thing, review spoilers. We're going to do that. That's its own separate series. We're doing a review for every single episode, and it's some good conversation. So first I just want to talk about, because we're going to talk about MCU, and we're going to talk about the Disney Plus show, everything like that. Let's talk about Disney Plus, because we talked about Little Mandalorian. How did it go for you? Are you having any like crash or loading problems or anything like that?
No, the only time I had a loading problem was on my phone. I was at work and I was like, I'd like to rewatch just a couple of scenes of Mandalorian on my break. So I popped it on.
He's in the bathroom.
In the bathroom.
Give me a minute.
It wasn't working. It didn't load up properly. So I was like, oh, that's fine, whatever. I just thought it was maybe like the internet connection or whatever. I didn't think it was anything major.
Yeah.
But every time I've gone at home to watch something, it works on all like the TVs and everything like that. I know my significant other said that she had one problem with it where it said like it wasn't connecting network or whatever, but all she did was just turn it off and turn it back on and it worked. So
the classic fix.
The classic, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I had no problems. Other than like I turned it on. And there was some damn. I was gonna make a joke, but I can't make that joke. Here, take two. So then I had no problems, but I turned it on, and then the only problem I had is I looked in the Star Wars section. There's all those fucking prequel movies. I get that
So
off
good.
there. I was gonna make a Solo joke and say that it was on there, but it's not on there.
Solo's not on there yet?
No, because it's on Netflix. It's coming 2020, so it's gonna be like, why did they put this fan film up? The whole joke, but yeah, I had no problems other than I haven't tried it again, but my phone worked, my computer worked, my PS4 worked, and I know a lot of people are trying to watch Mandalorian in the morning, so we watched it at night, so that's when there's less people on there.
I don't think many people knew that it dropped, to be honest.
Well,
night.
they changed it, they totally panicked because what happened is there's like a big difference with the Netherlands. The Netherlands already had it, so like it went live there, and then everyone was using, everybody, not me, maybe me, was using VPNs and stuff and tricks to get it. So it was like, well, a lot of people are already using it, and then it kind of went live. I remember it went live on the computer for just regular Canada, and then the app rolled out, but it rolled out like 4 hours early, so it was just, I don't know why they just didn't do midnight. I don't know why they're trying to be cute with this 3 a.m., 6 a.m. thing. It's like, people are going to watch it. They're paying for it. Just go. So I had no problems at all yet. The only problem I've had so far is my Samsung TV app, but that's in general. The apps kind of suck. Like when I use the Prime Video app on my PS4, no problems whatsoever. But on Samsung, sometimes the loading time, it just sucks.
You have the app on Samsung?
Yeah, I do. And
You
I
do,
did.
yeah.
It hasn't played yet. I only tried it once, and I was like, I'm going to go with the PS4 because I know that works, but I was just curious. And it's just easier because it's like Netflix. There's a button. I can just go to the apps. But so other than that, I haven't had a problem. And yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. I guess we can talk about some other stuff when we do Lady and Tramp, but I watched Lady and Tramp. We're going to talk about later. I watched the Jeff Goldblum show. I haven't watched Encore. Did you know about this Encore show?
Never knew about Encore.
So watch it. I'm sure you Madison might like it. It's like they get people back together who did school plays, but redo them as adults. So there's like
Sounds good.
Yeah, so this first episode I haven't watched, but it's Annie. So it's like a woman who played her as a child, but now she's like a grown woman. She's playing Annie again. So, and Kristen Bell hosts it. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'm really excited to check it out. And the other one I've heard, I haven't watched it, but people are talking really good stuff about that Imagineers documentary show. Have you heard that? So I don't know how many episodes, but it's like each episode they cover like an era of the Disney World and land parks, and it's about the people and the rides and the insides in them. And there's like all these, like they go into like rumors and stuff like that, all about the rides.
Like Walt Disney's Frozen Body.
No, not that. Just like the rumors about like the rides in the parks. It's all about like the Disneyland rides. That's yeah. Is Walt Disney really frozen and in the Mad Hatter? Yeah, I love it. Obviously, it's had what did it came out today? 10 million subscribers already. So that's
1/6 of Netflix.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, especially because I feel it's just launch. Other people are going to get it. Dylan made this point in our group chat of like lots of people are doing free trials. So that might still technically count as a sign up, but still maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But even then, like it's signed up.
I honestly would say a fair amount of people, like I think it's different if it's a month long, but I feel like a 7-day period, I think most people have looked at that, and when they see the option of monthly or yearly, I think like a good percentage of those people did the year. I feel like
I would, yeah. I think if you look at the majority of the 10 million they have now, I'd be willing to say over 60% did the year. It's just you save a month. It's not that bad. Like it's not. It is almost $100, but still, that's like tons of content on there. And yeah, there's the new shows, and there's not too many of them, but still, when you look at all the things on there, like I'm so glad people are watching Gargoyles. And did you watch that as a child?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you'd love Gargoyles.
I'm gonna tune into it.
Man, that's why you guys gotta support us on Patreon. I'd love Kirkland and I are talking about we're not gonna do a retro because I don't think it would pull in the numbers at all. But like, you would love Gargoyles. But I just love that everybody's like sharing their experience. And people are like, oh, Disney Shell, you love Disney? Yeah, I fucking love Disney, and that's why I'm gonna call them on their crap all the time. But it's like, if you're a Disney fan and like a fan of Marvel and Star Wars, it's just like the perfect app. Also, we talked about Mandalorian, so you can go check that out, the review. But I love the way it's laid out. I love it's just easy. First thing Mandalorian, and then it's like Noelle, Lady and the Tramp, all the big stuff, which makes sense because there's so many times where there's stuff I went to go watch. I can't remember the last show. It wasn't Stranger Things, but I swear on Netflix there was some big show or a movie, and it wasn't even like in the trending now or the top thing, and it was like with a bigger star, something that's like, why do I have to search for this? So like this was like, okay, all our new stuff is right there, and then it's so easy. Marvel, Pixar, blah, blah, and we knew about this going in before we saw the UI, but still just using it has been easy. I love the collection item and stuff. I love even like the Disney by the decade. It's just, it's very simple, and that's why like it's nothing fancy or crazy, and I think that's smart because I think they know like a lot of families and kids, a lot of people that other than maybe having Netflix, a lot of people that don't have any streaming services will probably get this, and they want it to be as easy as possible. And it's just like same thing. The searches I find are pretty easy. Sometimes with Netflix too, I find like it's a pain to search. And I've
it is.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime search is just atrocious.
Oh, it's
I don't even
the
know if it
worst.
has a search option.
Oh, it does. It's the worst. And as it's not the same thing, but like I watch WWE and I have the WWE Network, and the search engine there is awful. It's awful. You'll just put in one wrestler's name and the event, and it'll just bring up random matches from random times. So it's harder than you think. So yeah, it might have crashed a little bit, but I think that depends obviously where you are, but I think it also depends on the device. But I don't know. I'd have to look up. Maybe people on PS4 had the problem. I have not had any problems yet, so thankful for that. And I'm liking it all. It's nice to have it all there, and I feel it's worth the money. So anything else on Disney Plus there?
No, I love the UI. I love the flow of everything. It's not lagging. It's operating very smoothly.
Their logo animation is not exactly like the Switch, but it felt very Switch. Like it's like the Disney star goes down, and then when it hits and makes a plus, it's like that click. I was like, oh, here we go.
They liked what the Nintendo did.
Oh yeah. That's why they should have bought them.
Yeah.
Getting that Mario Disney Plus series.
Then they're already unstoppable. That would be like the creme de la creme.
Oh,
Holy
I know.
Crap.
That's what I wish. It's not happening now because I think Illumination's making a Mario movie, which could be good, but still, I think.
Well, Disney will buy Illumination next,
wow.
or Universal Studios. Who knows what's next on their list?
What's next on their list is all these MCU Disney Plus shows. So we're gonna talk about this. I don't know where to start, but I want to talk about the shows like individually quickly, but we've heard a few rumors. Well, no, they're not rumors. That's you never know nowadays. Feige, because I think he's been making the rounds. Disney Plus are talking about stuff. He confirmed that Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. We knew about Miss Marvel, Moon Knight. She-Hulk, thank you very much. And then Loki, the show is going to tie into those. So I want to start with some of those quickly because Hawkeye, I imagine that show will be pretty self-contained, but either him or whoever becomes Hawkeye will go into like an Avengers. Same as Sam and Bucky. What If is just like a spin-off. So with these shows, I'll start one by one because I haven't got your opinion on this. Throwing a Travis hashtag told you so is when me and Dylan did the Comic-Con breakdown, I called that Loki was going to be in the Doctor Strange show because the way it had when it did that whole phase reveal, it had like WandaVision and Loki spring, blah, blah. And then I think it had Doctor Strange in there, but the way technically it showed Doctor Strange before Loki, but the way it was like they're all in springtime and they just seem really close. And I just thought, you got WandaVision doing some weird stuff. You have Doctor Strange, which is literally called the Multiverse of Madness. And then you have Loki, who they've said it's going to be he's time traveling, universe traveling. So I thought it was a given. It was always, even Feige, I think they forgot to say at Comic-Con because in the interview, he's like, oh yeah, I guess I haven't made this public knowledge. Like the Loki show has something to do with it. So I won't say too much because I speculated this on Reddit already, but I just think this is a way that that will affect that show and set it up, or there's a possibility that we get that Loki brought into our universe again. So the Loki that's still evil might get brought back, and it's like Gamora where, it's not Loki, we kill him off, but it's still Tom Hiddleston. So what do you think about that? Like Loki tying into the Multiverse of Madness? I
think that's cool. Like I'm not opposed to it. I think, if there's any place to do it, that's the place because he's just popping off with the Tesseract, exploring and all this stuff. And it'd be very cool to see him come back and be kind of like informed as to like, okay, all of these things, have happened. This is, he's bad still, but he hasn't gone through this emotional journey and grown closer to Thor like he had.
Yeah, he's had no redemption arc in this.
He's had no redemption arc. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, because it is a Gamora kind of play. And it'll be very cool to see how that unfolds. What was I going to say? Yeah, I thought that Tom Hiddleston was done as Loki.
No.
Because I thought the show was going to be like a younger version of him, wasn't it?
There's all these rumors because there's time traveling, there's prequels, and there's rumors that it was going to be like a young Loki, which I'm personally glad just because we saw with Han Solo, young, anything could be a risk. So it sounds like he's in it and he's in the movie. So it sounds like they still got plans for the character, which makes sense. He's so popular, right?
Yeah.
The men and the women.
I'm excited to see, him with Doctor Strange because we only got a very tiny bit of that in Ragnarok, and it was hilarious. And I can't imagine now if you take Doctor Strange, who's even more of a, master of the mystic arts or whatever, and you have a Loki who is, at this point he's at his prime and he doesn't know of Doctor Strange, and I mean last time he doesn't know, so we get to enjoy that rehash, again of like their meet. I'm excited for it. I think the two go hand in hand.
So this will ask you. Obviously, Miss Marvel. I feel like we know Captain Marvel. That's gonna be probably the obvious place where they put her. There's a rumor going around from I'd say the BC plus tier that Captain Marvel 2 might actually be a Secret Invasion type movie, and it might be like a Civil War. So it'll be like a mini team up event, but not like Avengers, but Civil War though. What do you think about that possibly? And I think that's
You
where
mean like Skrulls?
yeah. And I think that could possibly where Spidey's next appearance is in.
So that would be his crossover, not his main movie, right?
Yeah, because obviously we'll talk about it right now, but they announced Ant-Man as Ant-Man 3's happening, cast, crew, everybody's coming back, director, and that's filming, I think they said 2021, so that's coming out 2022. So right now the movies confirmed are Black Panther and then Ant-Man, and I think Captain Marvel would make sense. So Spider-Man is 2021, and then he goes that's just a rumor going around, but that's been the rumor that it's Secret Invasion, and that'll be like a mini event.
I'd be okay with that. I'm excited to see Secret Invasion, to see, what are the bad Skrulls doing? Are they trying to replace, characters? I doubt that we would probably see, a Steve Rogers come back in.
Yeah,
as cool as that would be, it would be too soon, but it would really fuck with people if they see young Steve Rogers again.
That'd be cool. The only way, because I think Evans, he was asked about that, and he's still like, oh yeah, I could come back, blah, blah.
He said it has to be done right. It can't be a cash grab for the fans.
Yeah. So, and I've said this since the review, I think you'll see him and Robert Downey back at some point again. But I still think there's a way that doesn't hurt his story. And I think if they pitched it to him, you get to play a villain Captain America, I think you could have some fun with that because it wouldn't ruin his perfect ending. It'd be...
wouldn't be him.
Yeah, it's not him. So I don't think we'll get that because it's just very soon. We were talking about Disney Plus. I wanted to hit you with because it's on the shows. What do you think about that expanding the universe special? If you haven't watched it, it's on Disney Plus. It's a 13-minute special previewing all the MCU shows coming up. You watched that, right?
I did watch it.
Yeah.
I found it was mostly stuff we already knew, right?
Yeah.
I didn't find there was anything new. It was exciting, and I liked how
the
they were
images
recovering.
were new because we got to see
all the new suits and stuff
the
like
suits,
that.
and remember we actually got to see real Captain America zombie before we had just heard about it, right?
Yeah.
So we got to see HD versions of just blurry images. So that was nice to see. And I actually liked the What If series. When I saw it in picture form, I wasn't loving the animation, but when I actually saw it moving with my physical eyes, I liked the animation a lot. So that turned me around on the What If series. Not turned me around, but got me more excited.
Yeah, the What If is definitely... I'm super pumped for that.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see Captain Carter and all these other, alternative storylines. And,
T'Challa's Star-Lord, that was so cool.
Oh, that was so cool.
That's going to be such a fun series. So.
Yeah, I've seen some fan What If images of, Black Panther Ghost Rider mashup and other
You're just gonna shout out all the Ghost Rider
ones.
ones.
Yeah, it's so the fans want it and I want it and they need to do it.
Yeah, so that was cool. Check that out. You got to see the full Zemo costume. You got to see what Falcon's costume going to look like, the red one. I really like that. So, and I hope they do that more in the future, just little specials like that. Did you watch, just because we're talking about Endgame stuff, did you watch that Endgame deleted scene up with his daughter?
I watched it.
What do you think about it? Because that's been the big debate. Because I've seen people tear it to pieces and be this was bad, good thing they cut it, or people be oh, they should have kept this. This was such a great moment.
When was that scene supposed to be put into the movie?
When he snaps. That's how the scene starts. Remember? So it's the same thing when Thanos snaps in Infinity War and he has little Gamora vision. That's what's supposed to be when Tony snaps. He goes into this realm and he sees Hannah Baker.
I could see why, it could definitely be a very, sincere moment, and it could be because we get that closure with him. And we get, that realization, because that kind of helps bring us into the fact, okay, this is him, he's dying, he's in that moment where Thanos was, and it would work. It would definitely work. And, that being said, I'm glad it's not in the movie. I think
just I knew the cut down was coming at some point.
I think that the one biggest mistake of a deleted scene that they did not put in there is the kneeling scene. I think that
I like that one, and that's the same thing. Some people say it's great, and some people say it's cheesy. I liked the.
I don't think it's cheesy at all. I think he when he says that line, "I am Iron Man," and he snaps his hand, that is it's great, and it just happens, and you're just trying to catch up with what just happened, and then you see everyone, dusting away, and it just. That deleted scene again that I've seen so many times happening right after that, when he dies and everyone's kneeling and that score kicks in. It's so good and emotional, and you just feel okay, that is a better, honoring tribute to him than him talking to his daughter, which is unfortunate because the actress got, scrapped
Yeah.
or whatever. So, and I mean, we even debate about that with like Jessica getting a point or not, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
technically
yeah.
they had scenes of her, so
didn't make it in the credits.
No.
But yeah, I had heard. I think I'd said this. Maybe that's the thing. You never know what's on the podcast or group chat. But we had heard about this, and I said I didn't. I was glad they cut it because it sounded like it could be a problem. And then when I watched it, I was reaffirmed that I was glad they cut it, because the one thing to me, I always go, I get it's his daughter, but it's still, I just feel like I don't get the connection because we've never seen her. So I feel like right away you're like, who is this? I do think, and maybe this is a bad thing for her, but she's a Knives Out. I think she's gonna have more of a career. But for someone that's only seen her in 13 Reasons, and I think most people have only seen her in 13 Reasons, I think that takes you out of it because her dialogue is not like Hannah Baker like, but it isn't that like monotone, like we're gonna be okay, and I had a like it reminded me of a fucking tape for Iron Man. So that
oh no,
that too, I was like, I
Stark,
don't
here's
like
your
that.
tape.
Yeah, that I don't like, and I don't know. It was just like, I think I said this before. It paints him in a box. If they want to use Iron Man's daughter, it's like it has to be that actress, but it would be weird because the timeline wouldn't mix up.
Well,
right?
I think
so. It's just I think it was a good call to cut, and that's why some of you can be giving it so much shit. It's like, that's why it's the lead scene, because somewhere the director's watching and going, you know what, this just isn't working. That happens to us all the time where we have ideas or even stuff like Gauntlet. That storyline's not working. Let's change this. Let's do that. Like, if people give them shit, it's like, it's a deleted scene. It's not like they didn't pull Lucas, in my opinion. And we'll talk about that too. We're talking about Disney Plus. Well, Clonky or what the McCunky. Like they didn't go in and add in the Hannah Baker scene. You know, it's a deleted scene. It's deleted for a reason. I think.
I feel like if they were to throw in Morgan Stark, it should have been little Morgan Stark, just like how it was young Gamora. I feel like that would have paralleled to that scene much well and made much better actually and made more sense. I also feel like the fact that some of his dialogue is very emotional, and it was very emotional when he said, I think I'm making a mistake, when he's saying that. And it's like, oh God, I really feel for him. But then I feel like him also saying that, it takes away and undoes a lot of the emotion of him snapping in the first place.
Yeah, because I felt in that moment personally he didn't feel he was making a mistake, because when him saying that to me, he was like inferring that, oh, if I didn't snap, I could have saw you grow up. But it's like, no, there's a chance that she would have also died if you didn't snap, right?
Yeah,
so
no, it just felt like he knew what he was doing, and he was more confident in his decision than anything before. So I'm glad that they didn't put it in. Yeah,
so we'll talk about the McClunky scene after we talk about the MCU stuff. So the other two were obviously Moon Knight and She-Hulk. Where do you think they're going to appear? And I'll ask you the next question after. But where do you think they're going to appear, like retrospectively? If you, Taylor, you put your money down on She-Hulk, where's she appearing in a movie? Even if we don't know,
like in a movie, I don't get it. What the question is, because she has her own series.
No, because Feige said we knew about Miss Marvel, but he said that Moon Knight and her will appear in the films. Where at Comic-Con again, he said Miss Marvel, blah blah character, she will appear in future films. So that's where I and other people are like, I kind of assumed they would, but he didn't confirm that. Where this week or past week, he did confirm that all those characters will make their way in the film. So I'll start with She-Hulk. Where do you think, is there an announced film you picture popping up, or is there something in the future?
I picture popping up in the Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because she's a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's my prediction.
Yeah,
like Spider-Man movie
seems like the obvious one. Let me play devil's advocate. Let me think. I don't really have another one. The only thing is, I don't know. I guess I need to see the plot of Spider-Man 3 to know if she fits, because I think with Daredevil, and this is not just because I'm a Daredevil fanboy, I think that just fits a bit better because he's a street level hero. She's not a huge, massive, like, jumping galaxy space, but if she's in Hulk mode all the time, I wonder if that takes away from it, or if that, I don't know. I also don't know as much about that character, so maybe she's had some interaction with Spider-Man, but I think that's the way to go. I don't know if there's anywhere... I don't think there's anywhere else I would put her, to be honest, that we know about. Like, maybe Ant-Man 3, because my prediction is I think Professor Hulk's going to end up in Ant-Man 3. Where about Moon Knight?
Yeah, Moon Knight's a tricky one. I mean, I'm not going to say Doctor Strange, because there's already so much going there. I think later on maybe we see him with Doctor Strange. I think we see Moon Knight maybe with... yeah, I'm not thinking Captain Marvel. I don't think...
So while you think, I'll throw out mine.
Yeah.
So I think this is a foregone conclusion. I'm not sure if it's going to happen in the sequel or whatnot, but Eye Against Eye, it's going to be in Blade, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, right, Blade. Yeah. That's I'm with you.
I don't know. I honestly don't want with the first Blade. I don't want what they did with Spider-Man. I want the first Blade to be the first Blade. I don't want it. I want it to be like Iron Man, Thor, and Cap, where it's just Blade. I don't want it to be him with a bunch of characters. So I don't want Moon Knight in there right away. But if there's a way to connect Moon Knight in there to help for a little bit, or an end credit scene, I would like that. I just think they're the darker, characters. We've heard maybe rumors about Midnight Suns. I think that's the place to do it. Maybe it's Blade 2, but yeah, I think that makes the most sense because Moon Knight, I don't know where else he would pop up. He is in New York, so maybe Spider-Man, but I just feel like Spider-Man is going to be dealing with much other things, unless Moon Knight's hunting him down. But I think those are the two places. And the other thing I wanted to ask you, because, again, I'm on the camp, so I'm spoiling my thoughts on this, but Feige also in this interview said that, a lot of these, that's why he was talking about Loki, a lot of these shows will tie right in the MCU, and you're going to have to watch them just like the previous movies. How do you feel about that? Do you feel people are going to be left out? Do you feel that's a bad call? Because I saw so many people complaining about it, honestly, like, oh my God, you're going to have to watch the TV shows. I don't understand, because if you're a massive fan, I feel like you're going to be watching them anyways. And the mainstream, I guarantee there's so many people. My mom saw Endgame. She didn't see every MCU movie. I feel like in most Marvel movies, they still do enough to make sure you can enjoy and not know everything. So I feel like people have flipped out too much. But what do you think about those comments of him saying they're going to be really integrated with the movies, unlike the Marvel, Netflix, and like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that have just been like, oh yeah, the MCU. Like he says, like tying into Doctor Strange, blah, blah, all this, Moon Knight, She-Hulk's coming.
I think people just need to fucking calm down. I haven't seen Agent Carter, but it's on Disney Plus, and I'll watch it now.
I'm excited to watch it, actually check it out. I think it's only 2 seasons.
It is only 2 seasons, yeah. I haven't seen all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but you know what?
No, I won't retro.
Maybe I'll watch it. I'd like to watch it just for the Ghost Rider stuff, but
there you go.
It's not the end of the world. I think those shows. I can see why some people maybe wouldn't like follow in depthly on those, and like because they're
bigger commitment, right?
Bigger commitment. I don't feel like they are directly related and have serious implications to the main story in the MCU. It's a different side story or whatever that may or may not be canon anymore. Doesn't matter. When you have shows like Iron Fist and Luke Cage and stuff on Netflix, again, those are like good shows, but for me, they don't necessarily tie right into the MCU, so they're not like a priority on my list. When you have these shows now that are focused on these heroes primarily, and they are directly connected to the world of the MCU. There will be tons of MCU Easter eggs and things happening in the movie that
100%.
connect into this series. I feel
Baron
like
Zemo coming back.
Yeah, the Baron Zemo. It's massive, and I feel like there's no reason to be against it. And you're paying more money to go to the movie theater and enjoy a 2-hour movie when you can pay less money and you can enjoy a whole month of watching multiple shows that last 8, 9, 10 hours.
How much is a movie ticket?
A movie ticket's at least $9 now.
Is it 9? I feel
9
like
to
it's
12.
Like $12.
Well, the Grand 10 Landmark Cinemas is more expensive than Cineplex.
Let's go 12. So it's $12, and then let's say there's 4 MCU movies, so you got $48. So that's half of Disney Plus. And I get people might be saying, and maybe this is the approach of I pay $48, and I have to pay like another $90. That's for us. I think American is cheaper, but another $90 on top of that. But I think as long as, and I think there, of course, there's people that not everyone loved The Mandalorian, but I think majority, the reception's really well. All it takes is one good episode and people will be into it. And that's the thing. It's just, this is the way we've said about superhero fatigue and movies and these crossover events. I've always said eventually, there will be a lot. But if they're all successful, it'll just come to a point where people will pick and choose. If someone's not that interested in the Hawkeye series, then they can skip it. It's fine. And then if they see the new Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, in a movie and they go, you know what, I do really like her, they can go back and watch it. It's like same thing with comics. I love tons of characters, but I don't read every comics because I don't have the time. And it's different with the shows because, one, I'm very excited for the MCU shows, and we'll do it for the podcast. But it's just I don't understand why. I almost just feel like if Feige was jumping into TV, what's the point of him not doing MCU stuff? Unless he wanted one-off show, like this is something specifically different. But if he's gonna do all these shows and they're gonna be connected to the MCU, and him saying they're gonna be heavily integrated, one, I don't know why people have such a problem with it, and two, I don't know how you didn't see that coming. I just feel like that was the big news. Like he's doing TV, so it just feels like that was to come. And I felt like again, people just like that happens in news sometimes where it actually was announced, but then like months later is when it gets re-announced and people get mad. It's like I feel like at Comic-Con, Feige saying Scarlet Witch is going to be in Doctor Strange, and that's going to tie into her show, was already being like, clearly it's going to be integrated. So, and that's what makes me excited, because I love the Marvel Netflix shows, but at the end they really didn't feel connected. It's like, I'm not going to see these characters in these shows, right? So, yeah, I'm excited for all that. After Mandalorian, I'm just excited for Obi-Wan. I'm excited for Moon. I'm excited for, honestly, any MCU Star Wars show right now. Even Cassie, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go, because you check out our review, it's pretty positive on Mandalorian. So, anything else to say on those Disney Plus Marvel shows?
They're building towards something pretty awesome with it. Like, I'm super excited to see She-Hulk. I'm super excited for Moon Knight. I am excited for the Hawkeye series. I'm excited to see how they do that. And all these shows are great, and I think it's inevitably leading to, I'm thinking, the Midnight Suns, and they're going to throw in that Ghost Rider, and it's going to be so good. So good.
Before we talk about this Batman news, what do you think about this McClunky news with Star Wars?
McClunky.
I
think it's McClunky.
It's McClunky.
Are you sure? Because you didn't know what it was, and you asked me.
Yeah, but when you said it, I was like, I think I got it right. Where yours sounds like the CUNT word almost.
McClunky?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I don't know if it was that.
I don't know about that.
Maybe he did say that. So for Disney Plus, George Lucas. So what happens was, there was a few years ago, obviously, when George Lucas had Star Wars, he had those 3D movies planned to be released, and then he edited a bunch of new movies, and we didn't get to see them because those kind of bombed, and then Disney bought them. So are you looking up to see what the word is? So now Star Wars A New Hope has McClunky added to the Greedo scene right before he gets shot. Han's like, oh, I bet you have. And then he goes to shoot, and then of course they still have the Greedo shooting second and blah blah. It still looks like or Greedo shooting first. It's still a terrible effect. But then right before he gets shot, he says McClunky, and we're not gonna spend time on it. Just had to make a note of it because it's just, I don't know why George chooses to just continually pick the scab. I don't know why he just goes back and forth. But you got any thoughts on that?
No, keep going.
I'm done. That's all I have to say on McClunky.
I didn't find a word yet.
Well, too late.
Oh, I need to know. It's McClunky.
It's not.
It's got to be. I don't mind a lot of the CGI scenes. I mean, there's some that are just, I can live without. But
Return of the Jedi dance scene's awful.
At the end of the day, I'll watch the movie, and just because there's an extra scene in there, it's not going to, destroy my experience. I'm in it just to enjoy the overall movie, and I can tolerate 30 seconds of some weird alien dancing. I get to
my God, it's so bad.
enjoy the music. Some of John Williams' best.
Oh boy.
But I think that my all-time favorite thrown in CGI scene was the celebration at the end of Return of the Jedi when the whole galaxy's celebrating. I love seeing Naboo and Coruscant, everyone just celebrating with the fireworks. I think that's awesome.
Boo! Fuck the Gungans.
Fuck the Gungans. No, I think, this scene, to be honest, I didn't even notice what was happening because it's just, he said the line and then Han Solo dodged to the side and Greedo shot first.
Why does it need to be in there? Why? Why does it keep, especially this scene in particular, that is easily the most controversial Han shot, why does he just continue to, or why did he continue?
I don't know.
Just to poke the bear.
Well, because Greedo.
So they added, imagine that they took Greedo out and they put Grievous in.
He says McClunky and he shoots first, and then Han leans to the side and shoots second.
He doesn't lean to the side. That's the problem.
His head, his head awkwardly glitches to the side.
Well, yeah, and then there's just a CGI bolt that goes past him.
Yeah,
but that's the problem too with the scene of he's there's the way he's framing it is. Greedo saying McClunky and he gets shot mid-sentence, but it makes no sense because he's McClunky and then he shoots, so it's almost because McClunky means it'll be the end of you, so it's he's literally going, it'll be the end of you, and then he shoots, and it's another way for Greedo to show that he's about to shoot first, which he never did. It's just annoying. It's just, I'm so happy I'm one of the lucky few, because I talk to people all the time, I have the DVD originals of the Star Wars movies, so I'm happy. I will watch these new movies one time just for the 4K, but then after that I'm done because I don't like the special editions at all. I'm quite frustrated with them, so.
Yeah, I got them. I got the original on VHS. Well, not the original. I got the original trilogy pack on VHS. Then I got the original, I think, remastered version on VHS again, and then I have that version on DVD as well. So I got a few copies just because I like the collecting aspect of it. I'd love to get like the new versions that they just put out on Blu-ray, because I love how all the movies have the same cover art and it just looks like such a prime, collector's piece. But I'm happy to, pop it on, on the Disney Plus and, give them my, streaming support and watch these movies on there to let them know that they are being watched and they're being enjoyed, and, just keep doing what you're doing. I can confirm that they say that the Greedo now not only shoots first, but also shouts what sounds like McClunky.
McClunky.
What sounds like it.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's still hope that it could be McClunky. It's just his accent.
God. I forgot to. So are we done with the McClunky news?
McClunky done.
Yeah. So this is the other thing I forgot to shout during the Disney Plus stuff. There's been some rumors of a Thunderbolts and a Iron Heart series or something to do with that. The Thunderbolts. Well, I shouldn't say that because some of the rumors were saying that it's just something to do with Thunderbolts. We didn't know if it was Disney Plus or the movie. Obviously, we probably won't talk about Thunderbolts because we've talked about that in the past a lot. That was one of my predictions for Ant-Man 2 when Ghost survived. I think that's just a good idea to put former villains together, get your Justin Hammer back, get Bucky. You're still on the same page with that?
Well, Bucky doesn't need to be in there.
No, I'm just saying a Thunderbolt show. Just I still think Bucky should be in there, but now he has a big makeover and he's a good guy.
I want to see Red Hulk, I want to see I really want to see Red Hulk. I think that'd be super cool. I want to see Abomination come back. That is my
for sure.
go-to, and I want Dylan on that review.
Oh, yeah. And then what about Ironheart? Because obviously Iron Man, your favorite MCU character. Ironheart is a character who takes the mantle after Iron Man. What do you feel about this as far as a potential show and series? Because we kind of speculated maybe it would be his daughter, but if this was the route, it would be Riri Williams. So you don't have any experience with that character, but what do you think? And my question to you is, because, and this might be showing my hand, it's just, is it a little too soon to be doing this as we just lost Iron Man?
Too soon. I think that... and they've kind of turned Spider-Man into, taking up this mantle, but not even taking up the mantle, but being his own hero in his own right. And it's like a spiritual, he's like the spiritual successor of Iron Man. And I think that, maybe they'll finish off with Spider-Man's story, and then that'll be enough ample time to let Iron Man's kind of like settled away. And then they'll introduce
lose the rights again, is what you're saying.
They'll lose the rights. And then they'll bring in Majestic.
Heart.
Fuck.
What the fuck did you call her? Iron Majestic.
Iron
Majestic coming from?
I don't know. It's just
Iron Majestic coming to Disney Plus this fall.
Fuck. Iron Heart will. I think then they'll throw her out there years down the road, and she can take up the mantle, do whatever she wants, and pop off. So
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point, because I did think, for me, it's just let it breathe. You brought up, we kind of have the Iron Man proxy in Spider-Man, which is one of my least favorite things about him, but still, we got that going on. So it's like, we don't need to rush to get another suit out there. They're still roady. I imagine it's going to be bumping around. But you did make a good point that in case Spider-Man does go away, there is like another sort of successor to it. I just think I'm not opposed to Riri Williams. I think I've read her once or twice in a like Avengers crossover. I like the character enough. I don't have anything against her. It's just I think you could wait. I just don't want Iron Man to pass away and then 2022 rolls around. It's like, oh, it's the new Iron Man. I don't really need that. Like, let's feel that loss for a little bit longer. I don't think that it's warranted. We have so many new characters coming in that aren't even a part of the Fox deal, like Fantastic Four and X-Men. We still got like the Eternals are popping off, saying She-Hulk, Moon Knight. Like, there's so many characters, so I think let it breathe a little bit. And that's the thing, we're gonna hear rumors all the time. Stuff in development could just literally mean they're looking at shows to do, and this is one that they might do down the line, and that could be 5 years from now. Because obviously Feige likes to plan, and he said he has a 5-year plan. We only know 2 years of it. We're kind of getting the idea of the third year. So that's just my hope, is I'm not opposed to it. Because what it is, she's like a high schooler. She's really smart, and she just figures out the stuff, and it's kind of like, oh, wow, how's she figuring out at such a young age? Kind of like a Tony Stark. The only difference is, too, Tony Stark is alive when she meets him, so that's kind of a disappointing thing that she wouldn't get that sort of meet cute, because she's alive when they meet, and then Tony goes in this like long coma, and that's when she takes over as Iron Man.
Well, we could get one of those cool flashback scenes like Spider-Man Far From Home had with Mysterio. So
fair enough. Yeah, it's just like scenes from other movies, and she's there. But
to be honest, like if anyone was to take up the mantle, of Iron Man, I would prefer it to be like a Morgan Stark I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Or I would definitely not be opposed to the kid from Iron Man 3. I kind
I
of
don't
like
want
him.
that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not with you on that one.
I think they threw him into Endgame for a reason.
Yeah,
so
they did. Yeah.
they got 5 years worth of plans for him.
Well, I think that's the difficult thing when the comics say, "Oh, Riri Williams takes over as Ironheart or as Iron Man," but then in the movies they kind of to me set up a little bit as his daughter would. So it's a tough thing, but it's that push and pull. Is like they want to be their own thing, but they also want to tribute the comics. So I guess so. So yeah, keep your ears out for that. We'll see. I think it was like in the B kind of C+ tier rumor, but we kind of both think it's a little too soon for that. It's not soon though. It's for this Batman movie because 2021 is rapidly approaching. I'm very excited for it. Since we've been gone, we got a new Alfred and we got a new Penguin. Taylor has a weird smile on his face. So, well, I'll let you start. Which one do you want to talk about first, and which one do you think they're a good choice?
Jeffrey Wright is his name, correct?
Yeah, but we talked about that months ago for Commissioner Gordon.
We did. Yeah. I remembered. He's a new Alfred, and no, he's Commissioner Gordon.
Oh no!
I like that.
Evil laugh into the mic.
They brought him out and expanding the universe in that Disney Plus thing.
What did you say?
They brought him out.
Yeah, he did, and I bet they really love that now.
Yeah.
At least he's just a voice, right? Then they're
Yeah,
let's cut him. Let's cut him after season 1. We'll get Jeffrey Wrong to voice
Jeffrey
him.
Wrong.
Yeah.
But
He's
yeah,
a
no,
homeless man in the van down by the river.
So what is the question you're asking me exactly, Mike? Thoughts on?
Okay, let's start with Andy Serkis Alfred. That got confirmed today.
Andy Serkis.
Director tweeted out they were both in talks, but today, as the recording, November 13th, he tweeted out it's been confirmed. Andy Serkis is going to be Alfred. What do you think about that casting? Obviously, they have a history. They worked together in the Planet of the Apes movies.
I think it's good, but when does Venom 2 come out?
Well, that's what I was wondering because we did the Batman fan cast a while back ago, and Kirkland Pastor, the little bastard, he picked, and we'll get into this. Andy Serkis, and I'm not alone. I think Andy Serkis is the perfect choice for Penguin. I just thought he could have so much fun in that role, and I'll get to why maybe he wasn't picked. But when they announced the Venom news, I went, oh, clearly that's not going to happen. So I'm wondering, as we've heard a lot of rumors, we got Riddler, we got Catwoman, we got Gordon. They just cast some young African-American actress that at first some people thought might be Batgirl, but then it sounds like she's a politician. So it sounds like maybe someone that's running against Harvey Dent, who's also in this movie. So that's already 3 to 4 characters. You got in a new Batman, and then you got Alfred. So I'm thinking that maybe Alfred will have a bit more of a minor role, or it will be Andy Serkis flies in for a few days and they shoot all his stuff in Wayne Manor, like something like that. Or maybe he does a lot of VO because they've done that in the past. Like he calls him Penny One in comics lots of times. So maybe he'll do a lot of be as Jarvis. So I think you'll see him have a substantial role, but not a lot of screen time, if you know what I'm saying. That's what I could think, because when they announced that, they're about to film Venom, I think, soon, and Batman's filming at the beginning of next year. So it's crossing over, but that's my only idea.
I totally spaced out and thought we were talking about Andy Serkis as Penguin.
Oh, yeah. No. I think because we've fan cast and talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
But no, so he's playing Alfred. What do you think of him as choice for Alfred?
I think it's perfect. I think, of all the Alfreds, I love Michael Caine. I think he's definitely one of my favorites.
Name me another Alfred, the actor's name.
Jeremy Irons.
Damn it, he got me. Yeah. I remember that. Just as I asked, I'm like, he's not going to get Michael Goth or anybody like that.
No, I wouldn't have got them. Yeah. No, not a fucking chance. But yeah, no, I think Alfred's always a cool character. He's a cool, calm, collected dude, and he's always just popping in with the quotes and the right things
lots
to
of
say.
Wisdom.
Yeah, a lot of wisdom. He's been around for 3 generations of Wayne.
Has he?
That's usually what they say. Like Michael Caine was like, I've been around for 3 generations of Wayne.
That's Michael Caine, though. Most of the time he just means the dad. I got this vibe. I like the choice. Like I said, I wish it was Penguin, but I like the choice. Andy Serkis is a great actor, so it makes sense. I think him and Pattinson could have some good chemistry. Do you think they might go for? What are you laughing at?
I was thinking,
the Lighthouse.
I want William Dafoe as Alfred.
I love it.
Good.
I know. I love it. But I would have just been thinking of the Lighthouse. Plus, he's already in Aquaman, right?
Yeah.
As Vulko. So, do you feel? Because I think he's a good choice. He wasn't going to be one of my first choice, but it's fine. It works. Great actor. Do you feel like that chairs need some WD-40?
Needs some fucking oil over here.
Do you think it's Kirkland sits in that? He's so heavy, Do you think we're going to get more of a rugged Alfred, like a more kind of badass Alfred? Because I feel like in BVS they're going for very tech, very more hands dirty Alfred. Where Michael Caine, he does that, but I feel he's more of the wisdom, supports Batman. Where Jeremy Irons looked like he was going to be more of the tech army Batman. I feel like we're going to get a more grimier Alfred, because there is a Alfred from Batman Earth 1 where he is like a former soldier and stuff like that. So I feel like you get Andy Serkis, he's a bit more rugged. I feel like we're going to get that type of Alfred.
I think we're gonna get the claw kind of Alfred. You know, he's gonna have
the
the
accent.
robotic hand, the accent. He's gonna be talking about Wakanda.
Thanks for the real answer.
No,
you know what Wakanda is.
Talking about his SoundCloud, and on his music.
Yeah, check me out on SoundCloud. Yeah.
I know. I think that we'll get a very cool, hip hop, modern kind of Alfred.
Hip hop.
Yeah, I think we'll get someone who's very,
you say hip, but hip hop's a whole different thing.
I think, you're right. Jeremy Irons, he was definitely, in the grunge, working hard mechanic. He knew his tech. He was playing with like his, gizmos and gadgets and building stuff. They weren't buying exports out of town. You know,
there's no Lucius Fox.
No R&D department or whatever. So, yeah, he is, Alfred R&D Pennyworth. You
think this is what he will be, or Jeremy Irons was that?
Well, that's what Jeremy Irons was.
So what do you think Andy Serkis might be?
I think he's going to be...
Thanks for giving me the rundown of Jeremy Irons' small role in 2015's BVS and 2017's Justice League.
I think he's going to be...
#
release the Snyder Cut. Alfred, hip-hop,
exist.
Pennyworth, I think, is who he's going to be.
Hip-hop, okay.
Hip-hop Pennyworth. I think he's going to be cool. I think he's going to be, low-key. He's not going to be walking around... luring, women or other people into the Batcave.
Okay, fair enough. I don't think he lured Vicky Vale. He was just like such
he lured her.
No, I don't know how that went down. Check out our Batman retrospective for '89. We talked about that.
He lured his niece in there too.
He really did. I can't wait to do a commentary track on Batman Raw one day. That's some bullshit. He just gave everyone I love that line in Batman Returns when Michael Keaton's just like talking. He's just like, oh, all of a sudden I turn around and Vicky Vale's in the Batcave. Who would have known? And he's like shooting the shit at Alfred. It's so good. Hopefully we do a commentary track on those movies. So we had Jonah Hill gone. We had Seth Rogen rumored gone. Now this one's still in talks, but it's come from good sources. Your A-tier scoopers, and the same talks was for Alfred that got confirmed today. So maybe the next few days it will. How are you feeling about Colin Farrell as fuck? I did. God, you're a villain. How do you feel about Colin Farrell as Oswald Cobblepot, McClunky, the Penguin?
I don't know. All I'm fucking thinking of is this. It's fucking stupid bullseye bullshit.
Check out our Daredevil retrospective, because now Tara's disliking a lot more movies because we're finally, ruining him. But before, there's only 2 movies he didn't fail Daredevil, but Jigsaw and Daredevil he was not a fan of. Daredevil he gave 6 out of 10. But what do you think? He's in that. He's in Fantastic Beasts. What do you are you not a fan of this choice?
No, I'm a fan of it because I think I enjoyed him in Fantastic Beasts quite a bit. I thought he was awesome, and he is a good actor. I like what the later stuff he's done now, which I couldn't name anything else. But
have you ever watched Seven Psychopaths with him and Christopher Walken?
No, I don't think so.
You might really like that movie. It's really good.
What else has he been in recently?
He was in Horrible Bosses. Remember that? He was in.
Yeah,
have you seen The Lobster or Killing a Sacred Deer? Really good movie. Saving Mr. Banks on Disney Plus.
I have to watch that.
Really good. It's about Walt Disney. It's about Walt Disney, and he plays a guy in it. He's a very good actor. Our movie of the week, Superbad, by the way.
Superbad is movie of the week.
Colin Farrell's not in that, but so you're a fan of the choice.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I'm excited. I think you put that suit on him. I'm just picture.
Dude, that's the debate. Is he gonna put a suit on? Is he gonna put weight on, or will he stay like sexy penguin? Because people have been debating what's he gonna look like.
I'd be down for a sexy penguin.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah.
If
it's deceiving. You don't think a guy, but why would he get the name the Penguin? But I guess I don't know. All you gotta do is give him a limp and he waddles, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Penguin, it could be his go-to name. Maybe he just loves, raw dog and fish or something like that.
What?
I don't know what.
Do you know what raw dogging means?
No, I don't. I just threw it out there because I thought it was fitting.
Raw
with the
dogging
sentence.
means like having sex without a condom.
Oh, shit.
Like I raw dogged this chick last night. He's fucking fish.
I take that
He's
back.
fucking. So
It doesn't work.
You heard it here first. Colin Farrell's penguin is gonna be fucking. That's his That's his origin. Why are they calling the penguin? Oh, he raw dogs dead fish.
Oh no!
Oh my
it doesn't
God.
work. Well, I mean, it works, but it doesn't work.
No, not for this. I'm so glad I taught you this term before you start throwing around at
I would have
Christmas
too.
coming around. Oh man, let's just raw dog this turkey, right, fam? Let's go.
God.
Like you've done that. Kader does that so many times where he'll throw out something. I know he doesn't know the term for it. My raw dogging fish. What an origin story.
Yeah. Okay. No, I think. Anyways, I want sexy penguin.
Apparently you do. You want a raw dogging fish.
But I can picture you take the guy from his character from Fantastic Beasts and take that exact character, throw a monocle on him with a top hat, and then boom, you got Penguin.
I can't recover from that. So yeah, I'm down with the sexy penguin. If you played the Arkham or the Batman Telltale games, they had that, so it was cool. Either way, I'm fine. He's put on weight. He's done a suit. I'm just very happy because Jonah Hill I thought was the perfect casting, but it didn't work out, so that was gone. Plus, he wanted to play Riddler, the rumor was, so we wouldn't have got that. When I heard the Seth Rogen take, I like Seth Rogen a lot. I am a big fan of him, but I just thought that was all wrong for the Penguin. I did not want that laugh. I just could not have. I just feel like Seth Rogen has not got to that point yet where I do not see I do not see the character. I see Seth Rogen still, right? So I think Colin Farrell is a great choice. He's a choice. That's what I like about Matt Reeves. He has not picked really actors starting from Pattinson that I would have suspected, other than maybe Zoe Kravitz and even Paul Dano. But even then, I wouldn't have guessed Paul Dano. So he's making a really different cast. I'm very excited. And the other thing I'll hit you on, there's rumors going around that this Batman is going to have a blue and gray suit. What do you think about that? Because we've not had that before in the live action, really. We've had the Adam West 60s one, but that was so long ago. What do you think about changing up the Batman suit for this iteration?
I think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps things fresh, hip, hoppity,
Oh, no. Get off this.
It's going to be good. It's going to be super fly. I think it'll go really well with Andy Serkis's, Alfred. And, yeah, I think it's just I personally I love Nightwing's costume.
Mm-hmm.
I love the blue and the black, and I'm super excited to see some elements of blue into this costume. So, yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
Did you look at any of the art that I sent you for that Batman suit?
That you sent me?
You
didn't send me
I told
any
you to
art.
Google it, though.
I've not Googled it yet.
Wow. So I'm going to pull it up to show it to you there, but I'll show it to the listeners. But, yeah, I'm very excited because you look at all, not counting the 60s, all the Batman suits we've gotten are black and black, black and black, black and darker black, black and silver, black and gray, black and gray. But the guy, Gabriel, what was his name again? Gabriel
Dell'Otto.
Gabriel Dell'Otto. I gotta remember that because I saw an image. I was like, "Who did this?" I did the Google image search. This right there, that's exactly what I want the Batsuit to be.
That looks like the classic kind of colors too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. That's what apparently the rumored suit is like. It's gonna be blue and gray, which is a big change. And the reason I just love the way the cape falls over. You can look up the art. I'll show the video people right there. But I think this is just a solid change because Batman, like Iron Man, has so many different suit iterations, and we've gone barely any of them,
Except in the Lego Batman movie, we got to
Oh, yeah, very true. And, all the suits are different, but they're just variations of the Keaton ones, and all those were pretty similar with the emblem. They changed it up a bit. You got the nipple, so that was definitely a choice.
Nips.
But there's so many, and I'm excited because I could agree with most people that I think the Affleck suit is the best one, and I loved the gray aspects of it. So I'm very excited for that. I can't wait to see Pattinson in that suit and see what we're going to get. So anything else on that?
No, I'm just thinking about the freaking raw dogging thing again.
So are you going to be raw dogging HBO Max? Because this is something we missed. They announced that they're doing a live action Green Lantern show. What do you think about that?
That's cool and all. I'm not really
Wow.
big. I'm not big on getting Crave again. I feel like I had to spend a lot of money just to pay for their service.
That's such a bullshit. Didn't you just get it for Game of Thrones?
I just got it for Game of Thrones
You
because
paid
I
one
was
month. There's 1 month that was free, and then the next month.
Yeah, but I didn't delete it though. I kept it.
Oh, that was your mistake. Set an
no,
alarm.
I didn't have anything
Raw
else.
dog that iPhone.
Raw dog. I didn't have anything else. I didn't have Amazon Prime yet because I didn't know about the shows and everything on that until I dabbled in it. But no, I had it because I ended up getting into The Handmaid's Tale and a couple other movies that they had on there, which was okay. But then, really, when I think about it, it was over $20 a month. I thought, I can get much more content. I feel like on Amazon Prime and stuff. So I just bounced off of it because there were no new series on there I really wanted to see. And I was
You didn't watch Barry at all while you had it, you bastard.
No, I did not. But what else?
Would you not? So does take out the subscription base. Does a Green Lantern show interest you over a Green Lantern movie?
Yes. It does in the sense that, I'd love to see, this alien civilization kind of like branch out and kind of connect and slowly build up the anticipation of him becoming Green Lantern, and then building off of that throughout several story arcs in the season of him doing things.
They haven't said who's going to be the Green Lantern, though, so it might not be Hal. They just said it's inspired by the Green Lantern. There's a bunch of them.
There's
so
3 human Green Lanterns at some point, right? Like over time.
No, there's more than that. There's Kyle Rayner, there's Guy Gardner, there's John Stewart, there's Hal Jordan. The one right now is, oh God, what's her name? Jessie Cruz. I haven't read much of her. She's the first female Green Lantern. She's Latino. I think it's Jessie Cruz or Jose Cruz. I'll look it up in a second. But there's a lot of female ones. My theory is I think they might make up just their own character and do which I'm not a big fan of, but it does give them kind of like the Mandalorian. They can do anything with this character and put it in the world of Green Lantern.
I don't mind that. Aside from Hal Jordan, the first Green Lantern I ever knew and was aware of, I can't remember what his name was, but he was
John Stewart from Justice League.
The
army guy. The African American.
So he was always, I always thought he was really cool back when I was younger, and I remember seeing it cartoons and stuff or whatever, and I thought he was my first interaction with the character.
Yeah.
So
and he's a lot of people's favorites too.
Yeah, I'd be very happy to see he having the opportunity, make it in live action on this series. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm not opposed to them creating their own for the show.
Yeah.
It's obviously not connected to the DC verse in any shape or form, but
no,
that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, Jessica Cruz was the person. Go back. We did a DC Retro, me, Kirkland Taylor. That was a wild episode. I'm not opposed to it. I am in the camp that I still wish we got a movie first. And I did see The Mandalorian, and it was great, but I did have some problems with the effects, and that's my one thing is if it's Green Lantern, if you're doing a lot of space, it has to look really good. And I think if one episode comes up, and it is going to be on HBO Max, that's going to be their flagship thing. So I do have faith, but if that first episode comes up and it feels cheap, it feels, like the CW shows, which I enjoy them, but they're on a budget. If it feels anywhere like that, it'll kill it for me. So, and even though those CW shows have good writing and storylines, sometimes the effects can be very poor. So I think with Green Lantern, that's a risky move. There's so many, everybody's power is they create something with this ring, right? So I don't really care which Lantern they do. I have my favorites. I'd like to see Hal or Stewart, but the problem is I would lean to John Stewart, but at the same time, I wish we got a good Hal Jordan. So I don't know. I would rather have seen this as a movie, but it makes sense, and I'm interested. If I'm going to subscribe to HBO Max, I would just do this just to watch the show and then cancel it after. Yeah. So far, nothing else really has me on HBO Max, but I think if this builds up enough hype, I think you would check it out to see her. You could use
probably.
It. By that point, you can probably use another free trial or something like that. So
yeah, make a new email.
Make a new email. Oh, boy. Let's talk about we can quickly just talk about the Scream. You got any thoughts on new Scream? What I'd ask you, would you want a reboot, a sequel, a remake? What would you want?
Fuck if I know at this point. I mean,
yeah.
Jesus. I have to rewatch the Screams. They're not on Disney Plus, are they?
No, didn't make it.
But I'd have to rewatch them. I remember Dylan talking about the Scream series on Netflix, and I feel like he enjoyed it or talked about it or some shape or form. It was
fine.
I don't know how that connects to the movies if it's in the same universe.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed. I thought Scream 4 was kind of funny. I watched that in theaters when I worked at the movie theater, but I don't know. It was kind of weird. I don't know. Ghostface is kind of the lower echelon of my favorite villains. Slashers, yeah. So I don't know. It's cool. I'd rather a reboot, I guess, than another episode in the series because you can only do so. I feel like 4 was really pushing the limits, and I don't think that they can build off of that anymore. Yeah, I'm sure there's some diehard fans that would love a Scream 5, but
just raw dog that series. Yeah, I think they should do a sequel, but that's set in that universe, and maybe those characters that we loved are not in the movie. But I'd say kind of like what Jurassic World did, where we know the situation. There's been a Ghostface killer, but then it's something new. I have heard fun pitches of. You've seen New Nightmare, right? With Freddy when it's all real, he's coming after the actors and everything like that.
Oh, I saw that a long time ago.
Some people pitch that because like Scream's really meta. So what if it was like someone hunting down like Nev Campbell and David Arquette as like
That'd
this-
be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I don't think they'll do that, but I think that'd be a really fun idea to like do something meta, talk about the reboots or talk about the sequels that like ignore. Like in the movie, you have like Nev Campbell promoting like, oh, she's doing a sequel to Scream 1 because they've ignored the rest of the franchise. Like there could be some fun meta-ness. Wes Craven's not around, so that sucks. But at the same time, I did not enjoy Scream 4, so lots of people have said that like, oh, you can't do it without Wes. I love Wes. He's probably my favorite horror director next to Kubrick, but I think there's probably many people out there with some good Scream ideas. So that's exciting. I love the Scream franchise. I watch that all the time. Just the 3. I'm not a big fan of 4. I've kind of written it off now. But yeah, I'm excited for if something happens. Another horror movie. Let's get into trailers. We got like a bunch of trailers, so we're gonna rapid fire them. The Invisible Man. What do you think about this trailer?
The girl from The Handmaid's Tale is in this, so that's
Elizabeth
super
Moss,
cool. Yeah,
great
she's
actress.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it started off like it was one story, and then like she was a badass doing her own thing. Like she was sleeping with this guy, and then she took off, and like I didn't fully understand where they were going with this. And all of a sudden now she's alone in this house, and she's like the victim of this invisible dude, which I don't understand where he came into play. And he's got like stalker vibes. I know nothing about the Invisible Man.
You didn't
so-
watch that trailer that well because she has a boyfriend. The guy is like mentally and I think they insinuate physically abusive. He kills himself. Yeah, he kills himself and he leaves her all his money. But the only thing is she has to prove to doctors that she's clinically sane. So I don't know how, but somehow he's turned himself into an invisible man and he's like messing with her. The only thing though that I dislike about this trailer, I had no hype for it other than I like Lee Whannell. He wrote the original Saw and it was a part of those series. I liked the idea and I was like, okay. And I love Elizabeth Moss. Saw the trailer. I was really digging it because I feel like most of the trailer is playing up, is there an invisible man or is she actually crazy? But then in the end, she's like throwing water and paint on him and it just full on shows that, oh, she's not crazy. So that's what really disappointed me was I would have liked the whole movie or at least going into the movie of, I think the reveal still would have been, oh, there's an invisible man, but I would have liked
But that doesn't prove that, he's real or not because you see
it could just be in her
handprints and
mind.
stuff.
Yeah,
so.
true. You're right. Could just be. It just got too actiony where it's like other people are getting killed off. It was like, oh, this is definitely the Invisible Man. So I've only seen like the original man, like the original man,
Original Man.
I don't know, as a kid, and then the other one that's closest, Hollow Man. Have you ever seen that with Kevin Bacon? He becomes
The only Invisible Man I've had experience with is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh boy, we gotta retro that.
Good
one
movie.
day. That killed Sean Connery's career. He retired after that.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like that would have soared his career. It was a great movie.
No, that movie bombed big time.
I love
it got
that movie.
torn apart by the critics, raw dog style. So,
Oh, God.
is that one you're gonna be seeing?
Yeah, I'd probably like to. Yeah, like I said, I didn't really understand what was going on because I thought that she was like sleeping with him to like get like some like secret stuff and like she booked it away and then
Secret
I thought
stuff.
he was out of the movie and this was just she was like living in Secret Service like what do you call it, like relocation, like they changed her
Yeah.
identity because
Yeah.
she worked for them or something like that and she was an agent and then she was then being stalked by this like experiment. I got a totally
You saw
different
a
reading.
whole different movie.
Damn.
I didn't get to see this one. I watched the first 30 seconds because I promoted on GeekVerse. So all I can say about the Scoob trailer is I did not like Shaggy's voice, but from the images I saw, I liked the look of it, and I will be excited because as you were listening to the Mandalorian review, Scooby-Doo is one of my boys. I love Scooby-Doo. I'm a big dog guy. I like horror. I like the Mystery Inc. So I'm just really hoping it's good. So I am in for this, even if there's no trailer. And it's one that it's like I think I can take my daughter to as well because she's liking horror stuff now, which is great with Luigi's Mansion already at the age of 2. So what do you think about Scoob, the full trailer? I didn't get to see it.
I think Shaggy's just making a big hit right now. I mean, he's supposed to be in that crossover event.
That's a lie. Yeah.
I think the trailer it was good. I wasn't excited when I saw originally when I saw the posting I was like, oh, I'm not super excited for this, but I watched it and I thought as I was watching it, it was really adorable. It was really cute. It had a lot of good heartfelt moments, and then I can't remember all the other characters' names for some reason. We have
Velma, Daphne.
yeah, they had Daphne pull a really like crazy joke at the end, like. I can't remember how it goes exactly, but like there was like a phone call I think or something, and and or like I don't know. She made a really like kind of like I felt like abrupt dad joke, like oh thank God it's not my dad
Yeah,
or
is
something
it something
like that.
oh, I've heard about it from other people, like, oh, it was something like smells like whiskey and blah, blah, blah. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh, good things on my, like, oh, Brian was me on my dad or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
I
like
can't remember.
Jesus, that was like really unnecessary.
Fred
I
is
feel
the
like.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it looks like a really good movie, and I really like how they set up the introduction of Shaggy and Scoob, and I like how he's like, oh Scoob, be doo, Scooby Dooby Doo. Am I saying that wrong?
No, I don't know. Was that a joke in the trailer?
Well, he's like Scooby Dooby Doo. Is
Where
how
are
he
you?
said it. I can't remember exactly my memory's fucking shot. Long day, school, work. Oh my god, it was a good trailer. Yeah, making thumbnails.
I'll quickly talk about this one because you don't have much to say on it. The Witcher trailer that came out weeks ago. So I'll just say that the first trailer I saw, I was like, I don't know, this looks a bit cheaper. This one, it looked exactly like the feel of the game. I know it's more based on the books, but still, it just felt great. It felt like a Game of Thrones-esque, the epic style, and Henry Cavill just looks like he's killing it. It just looked like I'm going to love this series now. If it can keep up the quality that trailer put out, it just looked like I'm going to be engulfed in this world, and it looked like so much fun. And like I said, Henry Cavill, if anyone was doubting it, he's a good actor. He's just been put in some bad movies over the past years, and even then, he's good in them. So my faith went from I'm going to watch this become Witcher fan to now I'm very excited. And plus, they already renewed it for a season 2, so clearly they must be.
Well, they're looking at
confident.
like 8 seasons for this fucking show, aren't they?
I heard they said that, yeah, but I think hopefully them renewing it this early, they've seen the majority of the season or all of it, and they go, oh, we got a hit on our hands, or we're going to be really happy. If, like I said, the quality's like that trailer, to me, that seems like an automatic renewal. I could be wrong, but I think I've heard it's not the whole 13 episodes like what Netflix does. I think it's only like 8, so that might make it easier. But yeah, I thought that trailer was great. It's I should have watched it Gaming Forecast. I just remember that I felt like this is exactly how I feel when I play the game. So I think that's a good call. So
yeah, there you go.
Last trailer, and then we're gonna review Lady Tramp and Noelle, and then we're gonna get out of here. So it has been a big back and forth ever since we saw the leaked posters. We saw the trailer, the first one, and now we got a second one for Sonic. We got Sonic looking very different. He looks very, very close to how he does in the video game. So here's my thing. That I think this is a moment where the fans got what they want and they're very happy. And I see some people go, oh, I complained, I'm going to go see this. That's great. I don't see enough of it. And my two things are, one, I still don't think these are good trailers. I think these are very kiddie. I do not, like, I guess we're going to get, like, Jim Carrey from 2000s, but I feel like it's, like, the bad Jim Carrey. It just feels like an annoying kid's show. It feels almost like kind of like Garfield, and even Garfield wasn't too bad, but the sequel is awful, or like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like, it just gives me that bad memories of like live action animation, like the Smurfs movies. Like, these are just so bad, and Sonic seems so annoying, and it just seems like a 90s movie. And hey, it's a 90s game, so we go, oh, haha, but it's like not on purpose, like that's not, I'm not saying that as a compliment. Sometimes we're going for 90s feel. Perfect. That's not what this is. This feels like a very dated straight to DVD movie. And I think I'm happy. I get that they changed the design, so I think it was a good thing for the fans. But I've been like saying this the whole time. I still think it was like it's a gray area, because I think it's like a form of bullying, not in the way of like, oh, like get your feelings hurt, just in the way of we better change it. I just feel that them changing the look is not going to make a difference. It's great, and I hope those fans that complain do go see it. I'm seeing it because of the podcast, but I have no interest in this movie. I think if the movie is great and Sonic still looked like the old freaky Sonic, which he did, he looked like crap. I think if it was great, it would do good. But I think because the movie's not going to be that good, the design won't matter. I think everyone complained about it, and the movie's going to bomb. And then years from now, they're going to be like, oh, remember that Sonic movie? They changed the design? Yeah. And then the studio loses a bunch of money on this. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this movie, other than I think it's going to be a really wacky, fun review. So I'm looking for it in the so bad it's good category, but not in the, oh, I think this is going to be great. And we've not got a great video game movie yet. Detective Pikachu was not that. So
I love Detective Pikachu.
I know you do.
This movie, huge props to them for changing Sonic. I think he looks fantastic. Much better. The comparison images I've seen, it's just that old Sonic was absolutely scary out the yin yang.
Meow.
But
stupid.
I do think that this trailer was probably a little too long, and it probably showed off more than it needed to. But again, all the Jim Carrey stuff, it just sort of totally jives with me. I love everything Jim Carrey, and like early 2000s. Everything Jim Carrey. Early
number
2000s.
23.
Number 23. I have to rewatch that actually.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I don't think I've even seen that, but I'd love to see it.
Kirsten Dunst is in it. Mark Ruffalo. Elijah
That's going
Wood.
right on my list. Elijah Wood, yeah.
He's a big
Two-Face.
No. He has a big role in it. It's about people when they get broken up with their girlfriend or boyfriend. You can go to this place and they'll wipe out the memory so you can get over the heartbreak quicker.
Sounds nice, but then you don't really grow as a person.
But yeah, that's you should watch it. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, no, Jim Carrey, he jives with me well. I love his humor.
What?
He jives with me.
Okay.
But
they said he drives me well.
He drives with me.
Another sexual term.
We drive together.
Drive me.
But he's just the humor he has in this movie. I really, really get a kick out of it. He's so good, and I'm going to see him, primarily first. Sonic second, Jim Carrey first, but. It'll be a good movie to review for the fans, and it'll be very interesting. So a lot of good moments.
I don't think, we can't reveal, but on Patreon we're gonna do a video game commentary track and all of that movie, and it's a good one. There might be some fighting involved. Lastly, let's get in this. I'll throw my quick review for Noelle. It's fine. So Lady Tramp. No, I'm joking. Noelle. It was just that. It was fine. It was like Disney went out. They said, we want to make a version of Elf and Santa Claus put together. And that's what this movie is. Just not as good as either of those two. Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader are both fun in it. So it's the way of, if you like those two, watch it. Because Anna Kendrick is really fun. She plays the role like really cute. She's like the elf role where she gets put in this universe because Santa passed away. Bill Hader's supposed to take over. He doesn't want to be Santa. He goes to Earth, and she's trying to find him. So she's like Will Ferrell's elf, where it's all this stuff that she doesn't know, and it's all fish out of water. So that's fun. And then Bill Hader kind of brings the like Santa Claus, Tim Allen sort of stuff. Anna Kendrick good in it. I think Bill Hader is just like a world universe treasure. I think he's one of the greatest things the Earth has ever produced, and I think he's going to blow up. Like I said, he's still my pick for Reed Richards and Fantastic Four. So I enjoyed it because I like those two. It was fine. I think it's a good, fun kid. Bill Hader's in Superbad.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
He's like good cop. Oh, man. When they find McLovin, when he's making love to that girl, and they're just like, where were you, McLovin? They get all mad at him. Superbad's such a fucking good movie. Oh, man. But, yeah, I love Bill Hader. So it's good. If you have kids like myself, it's a fun type of movie. I think it's comparable to last year we watched Christmas Chronicles. I'd say it's that exact quality.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, we reviewed that last year. They're making a sequel. So
are they actually?
Yeah. I think it's the same that. It's nothing offensively bad, but it's nothing I'd say you got to spend your time on. If you're, like Dylan, I told him, like, hey, play Death Stranding. But if you're someone that loves Christmas movies, do it. Me and Emily I think next year I'm going to create a spin-off cast in December of just reviewing Christmas, like, horrible movies, like the Hallmark, like romantic movies.
I get on that.
Would you?
Oh yeah.
They're so fucking bad, but they're so good. I could rant about them so much. You know what? Maybe I don't know. Maybe we probably won't have time. Maybe next year. I think next year because there's gonna be no Star Wars all the time. But my idea was to record like 4 episodes, but us covering 7 movies. So it's like a movie for each day you could watch. There's been some wild ones. What's the one? Oh, you should watch. There's a one with Donald or Danny Glover on Netflix. It's like a Home Alone ripoff, and they get stuck in a school with a kid. It's awful.
With Donald Glover?
Danny Glover.
With Danny Glover.
The guy from Lethal Weapon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then there's one, Merry Christmas. That's
that sounds bad.
It was so bad, but I have such a good time watching them. So if you just want to watch Christmas movies, watch Noelle. Yeah, you didn't watch Noelle, so you don't care. Right?
No, I'll watch it closer to Christmas, I think.
Yeah. It was a weird time put out, but I think they just wanted something for this. Taylor, I'm going to let you start with Lady the Tramp here.
I don't have much to say, just that I was not impressed with this movie.
He was ranting and I'm surprised not much to say. You're ranting and raving through text. Like, this is awful. He literally, I'll pull up. I think you're like saying it's trash and stuff like that. Oh, my goodness.
I had high hopes for this movie coming off, the steam engine of Aladdin, which is like my favorite live action Disney movie that they've done.
Yeah.
It was fantastic, and Lion King, it was good. I enjoyed it, but it was just literally a copy and paste of the cartoon, which is fine. It was great, great live action movie, but for this, I had high hopes because I love the original Lady and the Tramp. I think it's a great movie. and I love the story, I love the songs, everything about it, and I was really looking forward to this, and the trailers had me so excited and so pumped. But when it started, it started off okay, and then I felt like, okay, now it's starting to skip too many beats here. I feel like it's actually taking, not that I need it to be a complete copy and paste, but I would have liked it to, change things up, but at least keep, the things that to me were very important in the original.
I feel like it did that because you brought the beaver.
No, because the beaver was huge. That was a whole sequence.
But okay, here's the thing. I said this to Taylor, and he was like, but they're talking dogs. I said they're trying to do a more realistic approach of like, it's just the dogs really in these animals that like, to me the beaver also talking is like it's getting a bit more crazier out there. So it's just like, one, it saves you money. Two, it's just, to me, that is doing something new, but then tributing the old movie.
Disney doesn't care about saving money.
They didn't put. Well, yeah, that's true. With the cats, they didn't have the entirely super racist song in there, but then they had a new song number, which was awful. The cats in this and that song number was not good.
They weren't even Siamese cats, I'm pretty sure.
No, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. If the only reason they were Siamese cats, so they could just do that really terrible song on the original one. So someone wrote like, I got this good idea. Let's do these bad acts.
Plus, the whole sequence of the parents leaving, they didn't take the baby with them.
Well, they left. Up.
They changed it up, yeah, but then it just doesn't stack up well like the original one did. And yeah, just the beaver thing bothers me because I love that beaver. He talks like with the sweet, the his buck tooth or whatever, and like all it was a statue, and they just ripped it off, and then they completely scrapped the whole terrifying scene of the pack of dogs chasing them, and Tramp just comes down and like flaunts like, oh, she's dangerous, she's got rabies, and they're like, this is not cool, this is boring, I want to see them running, terrified by the three dogs chasing them, And I found like the humor of like Mr. whatever his name is, the dad or whatever. He wasn't
like the dad actor.
Yeah,
he wasn't great.
He wasn't great.
I won't say he like as a person or actor's not great. Just this role was not good for him because I don't know. He could be good in other stuff. Just this, I didn't mind. I liked the woman playing the mom character.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't find the aunt even fitted. I like the actress. I think I love her in Community. She's freaking awesome. But
Dr. Ken was in this as well.
Yeah. For that caught me off guard.
One, he's playing a doctor, and we're doing some spoilers. I should have said that, but I swear, if I see one fucking comment about how you spoil Lady and the Tramp, the Disney Plus movie, go fuck yourself, Raw Dog style. Get out of here. It's Lady and the Tramp. It's on Disney Plus, and it's like it's almost the exact same movie. According to Taylor, it's not, but to me, it pretty much is. But I will say that this helped me because I think this is one of the Disney movies I've seen the least. So a lot of times I did have to look over to Emily and be like, did this happen? How this happened? So I think me not being a huge fan like you helped me. But yeah, Dr. Ken, I don't know, was he just there visiting Yvette Nicole Brown from Community? He was in there for 30 seconds.
He was. Honestly, I think he's like Disney's like go-to like villain guy. In Endgame and Lady and the Tramp. He'll be in Star Wars next.
Their go-to. Twice in 1 year. Oh, their go-to. Disney's been around for like 80, almost 100 years. Their go-to guy for two movies.
Go-to guy.
Yeah, continue.
Yeah,
what do you think about the dog catcher?
Dog catcher, it made no fucking sense. He'd randomly pop up like out of the bush. It'd be like, there's no context as to where he came from. It's like he's just asking people like where this dog is. He's got some weird obsession. I'm like, he hears a dog barking and he goes out to like look in the guy's backyard where Lady is, and like the guy happens to be out there, which is good. He's like, is that your dog? I'm like, yeah, it's my dog. And he's like all creepy and he's talking to himself and like. He's just weird, and again, like the old reliable dog or whatever, he was supposed to get like almost killed by the fucking dog pound carriage. He gets hit by it or hit by the horses.
He just walks it off.
He doesn't. He doesn't even get hit or anything in this. He just kind of comes in after Lady and is just like chilling. It's like they took out all of the most sentimental moments of this movie and the important parts. They kept the rat thing in there, but
were you surprised that they shot the rat? There was lots of blood, I thought, coming from the rat from this.
I didn't see any blood.
There's tons of blood. There's literally a puncture wound on the rat, and then it's laying in a pool of blood.
I didn't see that at all. I was probably too furious with this fucking trash movie.
The dog catcher, I fucking loved in like a way that a good movie, bad movie, because like the actor was so like if they were trying to make the rest of the movie realistic, he was not. He was like he would just walk out and his face was just I gotta catch this dog, and then like it felt. Tell me if I'm wrong. Didn't feel like in the middle they were trying to make it seem like he wasn't that bad of a guy. Like he was and tell me if I'm wrong. I felt the beginning was they're trying to make him look like angry dog catcher. The middle was like, oh, he's trying to catch dogs just so they're not on the street and they're not in danger outside. And then in the end, he turned back to just being completely, I hate Tramp and I want to catch him.
I think he just had an agenda this whole time.
Really? I just thought when at one point with Lady or something, he's like, oh, yeah, we don't want dogs on the streets. And he was very nice with some people. But then other times he was just so cartoon. Like Tara said, he would just pop out of nowhere and just his facial reactions. Like I got a kick out of it, but it was
no, he didn't do it for me. Another thing, too, was they yeah, I didn't like how they gave Tramp this whole backstory, which was completely fucking pointless.
Backstory. It's 30 seconds, Taylor.
Of him talking about how he had a family,
yeah.
And then you see the wife holding the baby, the newborn, and the
Yeah,
dad drives him out, not old Yellard or anything, but like drives him out and drops him off and drives off.
You missed a part. He gets out of the car, throws a ball, and then gets in the car.
Yeah, like an asshole. What a fucking piece of shit.
So like I didn't mind it because like Tramp, it's very sad afterwards. Like, oh, I sat there all day and and all night, and then I realized no one was coming. That's a sad thing because dogs can do that. My thing is, and I didn't ask this, what does Tramp have an origin in the OG one?
No, he's just living life and it's the dream, and
so,
he's a player.
I feel like though he does make a point in the OG one to talk about how they would replace you with a kid, right? Like he does,
but
he's had a history with humans.
He says it based on it comes off more like knowledge, like he's been in the streets and he's just talking, talking tall. It's not based on him having experience with humans. It
but
just
you don't
comes
know
off
that. That's what they're inferring.
In the original, it just seems like he was born in the streets and he lives in the streets,
Yeah.
And another thing too, the fucking Italiano guys or whatever just didn't do it for me. I wanted the full blown mamma mia, I got like they were fucking hitting each other with baguettes and shit, in the original kind of vibe.
I think again, and sometimes I don't think you pick up on this. I think they didn't want to make them just stereotype Italians. Like you said, you want Italians and you want them to be like, oh, mamma mia. That's not like I have Italian friends who don't just go, oh, mamma mia. So I think that's the thing. They didn't want to just make them a carbon copy of like the stereotypes back then.
But even when they're like standing there like dancing, they're like leaning back and forth like this, playing their instruments. It's like, no, you got to get in the motions.
When they were singing, Taylor's like, man, they're not even putting their full will into it. It's like, get off it. You don't know what they're doing. I don't think that was the case.
Didn't do it for me. Today, it's fun fact. So my teacher today at school, he randomly just shouted out during our lesson, like, oh, did anyone watch Lady and the Tramp last night? And I'm in the front row right in front of him. So I'm like, I lean back and I'm like, oh, and he's like, it was such a good movie, actually. And I'm like, oh, I'm not talking anymore then. I'm not going to get into this.
Now you know how we feel about you most of the time.
Apparently I'm a fucking minority about this.
Why? Did Madison really like it?
She hated it.
Well, I don't know if there's any, like, I have not seen enough people that even have commented on Lane the Tramp, so I don't think there's a strong opinion. Again, like Noel, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it better than Noel. I think the CG was good sometimes, and other times it was very
You could really tell when it would change from real to CGI.
I think when you could tell is when they were talking. I think when they were running, doing stuff, and getting in trouble, you couldn't tell. Or, like, you could, but, like, it was a bit more, like, uncanny valley. You could blend in better. But the second they're talking, it didn't really work. I thought the voice cast was fine. There's some good people in there. Like I said, the dog catcher was wild. I thought, and this is what I love having kids just in general. But as far as the podcast, I like that I can kind of always say before I be like, oh, when our kids think about this, Gwen, she's over 2 years old. She loved this movie. Like, it's just, and I think any kid
kids
would.
Are gonna love it. That's totally.
But that's what I mean. Like, I can still go like even something like Lilo and Stitch we watched last night. She gets bored sometimes of it because if it's Lilo for a while, she's like, I don't care. I just want to be around Stitch. Second Stitch on screen. But with this talking dogs, boom, she was locked in the whole time. She loved this movie. So, I mean, we've seen this movie many times in my life now, but like more so than a lot of other movies. So that's what I can speak on from the parents' point of view. So if you have kids, if you like dogs, they like dogs, I think that's the perfect thing. If you don't, other than if you're Taylor and you love the original, you're really curious. If you have Disney Plus, just put it on. You've already paid for it, so why not? But I don't think it's a rush. I think you could go watch other things first.
Like the original Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, sure. It does recommend that right after. Big shout-outs to Disney for having an option of not having to autoplay right away because fuck Netflix and just like you have to rush to find the remote. It's a super loud Netflix trailer that shows you the entire movie.
No ads.
Yeah, no ads. Let's see. So if I were to score it, I'd give it like, I don't know, a 6.2 because I can't give a 6.5. I think it's a little stronger than a 6, so a 6.2. That'd be my score.
I give it a 2 out of 10.
Wow, a 2. What's the 2 for? What are the two?
It had a
positives?
couple jokes that I did find funny, like when Lady was bored in the boat and the guy was like, "Oh, you're very, very cute," or whatever, and you have very nice ears, and the lady's like, "Oh," I thought it was kind of funny.
I like when Tramp ran up to those two poodles and whatever remark he made. He said something about like, "Oh, look at the twins," and the male
Yeah, that's
poodle's
my
like,
husband.
That's my wife.
Yeah, that's another good one I like, and I like the original theme that they threw in there of like he's a tramp and I love him or whatever the fuck how it goes. I can't remember, but.
2 out of 10. So there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was a newscast. A bit shorter one today, but we just want
I
to.
don't know that was short. That was still a good hefty amount of time.
Hour and a half, not too bad. But people are just used to us putting out Endgame newscast review. But it was either this nice hour and a half or it was nothing. So check out The Mandalorian. Check out episode 1. Our review's already up. Check out episode 2. We're going to be doing that, and we're going to do all the episodes weekly. Me and Dylan are going to be reviewing Death Stranding. That's going to be lots of fun. I cannot wait to talk about that game. Taylor and I will be doing Jedi Fallen Order. Like I said, a bunch of stuff. Taylor, where can they find us?
They can find us with your internet connection or your data because we're data worthy. If you want to save your money, that's good too. We are in the search bar, ladies and gentlemen. GeekVerse Space Podcast. Anywhere on the web, particularly Facebook, you can check out. There's going to be lots of good stuff coming and dropping on Facebook. Especially, there will be a new Star Wars fan base poll that will be dropping soon here. I just got to put like the characters all align and get some finishing touches on there, and it'll be dropping live, but it's going to be focused on Clone Wars and Rebels, and it's going to be a very good, long, girthy poll that'll probably go right over past December. So
is it going to end though? For the
I don't
movies?
know when it's going to end. It depends how many characters total we have, but it'll be pretty good, because we got this whole Mandalorian, Rise of Skywalker, and then Clone Wars coming in after, so it'll be a good long track.
Yeah.
So what, you were hoping for something to
Well,
come?
I just thought that because we've talked about doing this a few times, and I just thought, one, you never got back to me if we were going to do the mini Star Wars movie poll one of just taking the 10 Star Wars movies and doing the fan vote. But I also thought that, and this is an on-air thing, so if it doesn't happen, you can get an exclusive that meant nothing. Because the decade's coming up, if we did our first ever movies one, but picking like 20 or 30 comic book movies and doing that, like the 2010s, like the best comic movie of the decade, and people vote on what would be the best one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's because characters, that's way too hard. Not even comic characters, just like I think a movie or TV, like the best characters of 20, that's too big.
Is that something you'd want to do within this decade, or could it be like post New Year's?
I think it either would have to be before I think it'd have to be before the new year or in January. I think February might be too far past the new year, but I think in January that still works, I think.
Okay, then we can.
Do we have two concurrent polls at the same time? One in the morning, one in the night.
That'd be wild. I think the fans would probably love it.
Yeah,
I'd probably space it out and do like polls intermittently on each day, maybe. But like we can kind of maybe go over and see how many characters we have total and how many days we have, and figure out, because then maybe we can like you get your decade poll in there for January, because that would be pretty cool. I think that everyone would enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think a movie. Are we gonna do that mini Star Wars one? Because that would just take a week, like the 10 movies. Just like vote for what the best Star Wars movie is.
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, even then, I wouldn't mind doing it like after Rise of Skywalker too, because then that one can come in there, and then you can have like we'd have. Because there's 10 movies now, that would be 11.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think that's why we said maybe do the 10, because it'd be an even number. Because you could literally just do it the week. It would be over before Skywalker. You could do it the week of, because there's only...
Unless we were to throw Mandalorian in there.
That doesn't count. That's not a movie. That's a
TV
show.
The Clone Wars movie?
If you want to, we could wait till Skywalker, and then you could throw the Clone Wars movie and then Skywalker.
We'll throw Clone Wars in there.
Oh God!
So fans will appreciate
gonna lose right away. It's what, like 4, 4, 2, 2,
Phantom
1,
Menace and the Clone Wars movie.
Fine, let's wait, and then maybe we could aim to do that poll the week of Clone Wars launching, because it'd be 4, 4, 2, 2, and then the 1, 1. So There you go. That's what we'll think we'll be doing.
Well,
so.
unless we do your movie one first, and then we launch the Clone Wars Rebels poll with the debut of Clone Wars.
But isn't that false advertising?
Well, I mean, it's not false advertising if we retract it and say, we're changing it.
still
We're the one
something.
making the rules. So
Yeah, it is. And plus, it does fit a bit more with Clone Wars, the canon characters, to be honest.
yeah.
There's a
So, I
bit
mean, we
more.
could do that, and I could just pump out your Star Wars one.
Yeah. Maybe we could do that.
So
Both
we
Star
could
Wars
just-
and that comic one, I think. I don't know what we'd do. Either we'd have to pick, like, the 30 or 25, like, best reviewed or the biggest
Yeah.
ones. What would we do? Or find some middle ground?
Maybe just the best ones or whatever, I'd say.
But that's subjective.
Well,
if
if
we're
you
picking.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean,
We'd find a list. I think
yeah, we'll
we'd
find a
have to
list.
put ones like for our fans, for our, Greg patrons, where we'd have to put like a Man of Steel in there, even though that didn't make as much money and didn't review the greatest. But we'd have to find like a mix. But then I don't even know how many. I'd have to count how many comic book movies there are. Maybe we just do every single one.
Yeah.
If you mark.
It'd be hard too, because then is it the movie or like the main head honcho of the movie?
Just the movie, just the
just the movie.
quality of the movie.
'Cause then
Which
how do
one do you
you-
prefer?
Okay, and then
So
would
it's
that
like
tie
Iron Man
in
versus
with
Iron Man
the-
3. Which one would you?
Would that tie in with the Hall of Fame, or is this just his own thing?
I think we could do a new movie Hall of Fame, and then one day
A
we'll-
new movie Hall of Fame? Oh shit! The regular Hall of Fame's not even big enough yet,
But,
though.
yeah, but like we said, one day we might have a movie poll ones going on. But even then, we don't have to have a movie Hall of
Yeah.
Fame. We didn't have a Hall
Well-
of Fame until the second poll. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. No, we could do that and just keep count. Then when we do the movie Hall of Fame, we can throw them in there.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you heard some deep dish
Oh, yeah.
conversations here, ladies and gentlemen.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just head down the description down below. Our video feeds are there, our audio feeds are there. Please subscribe, like, rate, review, that whole shebang. Everything you can do to support us. We really appreciate it. We are about to, probably by the time this releases, I should have done this. I'll do this for the Mandalorian one, but we are just under 1,000. We're close from hitting 500 500 downloads. 500,000 downloads this year, which is nuts. If you looked at our old ratings, nowhere near. So we know Endgame, we've got a lot of new fans, so we thank you for staying on, because 500,000 listens, that's pretty big for just little old us. So thank you very, very much. And then I don't think we'll hit by the end of the year, but we're getting close to 1 million. I think we're at 830,000 overall, which is crazy that we did the majority of that this year. So there's a chance of Skywalker, if it blows up and you guys help us out, if we could hit 1 million by the end of the year, that'd be crazy. But either way, the fact that we've hit 500,000 in just 1 year, that's nuts. And we're really appreciative of that. We really appreciate all the support you give us. So we thank you very much for tuning in. And until next time, it'll not be boring.
Bye-bye. If we hit 1 million, we should all shave our heads.
Why?